In the heart of ancient Greece, where gods and mortals walked the same earth, there lived a maiden named Medusa. She was unlike any other woman, her beauty so profound that it captured the hearts and minds of all who beheld her. With flowing locks of golden hair that shone like the sun and eyes that sparkled like the stars, Medusa was renowned across the land. But she was more than just a pretty face, she was also devoted to the goddess Athena, serving as a priestess in her temple. The Temple of Athena was a place of purity and wisdom, a sacred haven where Medusa found peace and purpose. Her days were spent tending to the temple, offering prayers, and guiding the faithful who came to seek Athena's favor. She had vowed to live a life of chastity, dedicating herself entirely to the goddess she served. And in return, Athena blessed her with grace and protection. But such beauty and devotion did not go unnoticed by the gods who watched from above. Poseidon, the god of the sea, was particularly struck by Medusa's allure. The waves of the ocean mirrored the deep, restless desire that grew within him. He longed to possess her, to make her his own, but he knew that such a pursuit would be fraught with peril, for Athena was a fierce and powerful goddess. One fateful day, as Medusa went about her duties in Athena's temple, Poseidon appeared before her. His eyes, deep as the ocean, bore into hers, and the very air around them seemed to tremble with his power. Medusa, taken aback by his sudden presence, tried to flee, but Poseidon, driven by his overwhelming desire, pursued her. In the very heart of Athena's temple, beneath the watchful eyes of the goddess's statue, Poseidon caught Medusa. Despite her pleas and cries for mercy, he took what he wanted, violating the sanctity of the temple and the purity of Medusa herself. The temple walls, once silent witnesses to prayers and offerings, now echoed with Medusa's cries of anguish. When the deed was done, Medusa was left broken and defiled in the shadow of Athena's statue. Poseidon, unrepentant, vanished as swiftly as he had come, leaving Medusa to face the wrath of the goddess she had so faithfully served. Athena, who had seen everything from her divine throne, was enraged, not at Poseidon, for he was her equal, but at Medusa, the mortal who had dared to be so beautiful that she attracted the gods' attention. In her anger, Athena could not see the innocence of the woman who had been wronged, all she saw was the desecration of her temple, and the betrayal of her priestess. With a voice that echoed like thunder, Athena cursed Medusa. "You, who have brought shame to my temple, shall bear the mark of my wrath," she declared. As the words left her lips, Medusa's body convulsed in pain. Her golden hair, once her crowning glory, twisted and writhed, transforming into a nest of venomous snakes. Her eyes, once the windows to her gentle soul, became instruments of destruction, any who looked into them would be turned to stone. Medusa's cries of horror filled the temple as her transformation took hold. Her smooth skin grew scaly and rough, her once melodic voice became a hiss, and her face, once admired by all, became a visage of terror. No longer could she walk among mortals, she was now a monster, feared and reviled by all. Cast out from the world she once knew, Medusa fled to a remote and desolate island, where she lived in solitude, haunted by her past and the curse that had been unjustly placed upon her. The snakes that crowned her head whispered incessantly, reminding her of the life she had lost. The few who dared to seek her out, hoping to slay the monster and claim glory, met their end, turned to stone by her gaze. But despite her monstrous form, Medusa's heart remained that of the woman she had once been, filled with sorrow and longing. She despised the gods who had wronged her, and the world that had abandoned her. In the end, Medusa's life was cut short by the hero Perseus, who, armed with gifts from the gods, sought her out and beheaded her while she slept. Even in death, her power remained, as her severed head continued to turn those who gazed upon it to stone. Perseus would later use her head as a weapon before gifting it to Athena, who placed it on her shield, the Aegis. Medusa's story is one of tragedy, a tale of beauty punished and innocence betrayed. Though she became a monster in the eyes of the world, she was, at her core, a victim of the gods' cruelty, a reminder of the capriciousness of the divine and the harsh realities faced by mortals who caught their attention.